Have you ever wondered where the strange photos we come across on the internet come from? I was curious and researched these kinds of photos. Some are just made with Photoshop, while others are real. Teletubbies and the Sick Child. Fear Teletubbies. This photo with the child lying in a hospital bed. Both with its atmosphere and the strangeness of the costumes. Quite eerie. All the Teletubbies have the same strange expression on their faces. Why would someone want fun character costumes to look strange and creepy? Also, the child looks very calm. Let's take a closer look at the picture. The quality of the photo is low. It might have been taken with an old camera. Still, I thought it might have been done with an effect. However, another image proving it's old is the poster on the wall. This poster features the old footballer Dennis Bergkamp. I deduce this from the colors of the jerseys and the teams the man played for. If we have to, it's a poster related to Arsenal. Since Arsenal is an English team, it's likely that this photo was taken in England. As I continued my research, I saw a few people commenting on a related Reddit post. They were saying that this home kit was used around 1998. After seeing a comment, I became completely sure. The comment was as follows. I met the same Teletubbies when I went on vacation to England in 1998. I was 4 years old. They were taking photos with children passing by in front of a shop. I have a photo with them in one of our family albums. I remember seeing them and they weren't scary at all. In my 4-year-old mind, they looked like real Teletubbies. In another comment I saw later, a man says that the person in the photo is his brother and that it was taken about 26 years ago. He says his brother had butterfly disease, a rheumatic condition affecting many organs in the body at once, and that he was at Medway Hospital. These dates also prove our earlier theory. Additionally, Medway Hospital is located in Glencombe, England. Of course, you can't fully trust the word of someone saying this anonymously. They might have written it to deceive us by connecting it with other comments. I also wrote to the two people mentioned earlier. I waited for a certain period, but I couldn't get a response from either of them. If I receive a reply, I will mention it in the comments section. However, I think the situation is really just this. While I was editing the video, I received a message from Reddit. The person I wrote to messaged me again. A second person who was there wrote, he also says, I don't remember the exact location, but it was somewhere in the southern parts. Our Medway Hospital is also exactly in the southern parts. So, probably because the two corroborate each other. The incident is real. Barney and the child. At first, everything seems normal. A child was photographed, but from the door of this dilapidated house towards us. The person dressed as Barney looking at us, the factor that makes the photo truly terrifying, with a strange mouth and eyes that draw you into infinity. Truly disturbing. The first place this photo spread on the internet was a post on Reddit. The person who shared the post said, my friend was taken when he was a child. A creepy photo. Shares it with the title. It receives a lot of attention. It even becomes a meme. After this, people become even more curious, and they message the person who shared the post. However, I don't know much about the photo. My friend is at work right now. But when he gets home, I'll press him to tell me everything he knows, he says, and then disappears. He doesn't respond to any of the other messages. He even closed his Reddit account. No matter how deep I delve into the internet, I couldn't find a solution or anyone to contact. Probably because he didn't expect this much attention, the owner of the photo told his friend who shared it not to continue. Smile Dog. The first thing that catches our attention is its disturbing smile, eyes, and crooked face resembling a dog-like creature. With a human-like figure in the background and red-toned curtains, it's truly a very frightening picture. The original is created by photoshopping human teeth onto a sweet Siberian husky. They also placed this image in the background, lowered the dog's ears, and added a red effect. The story is as follows. Those who see this image experience madness. The image you are seeing right now is not real. Only the original Smile Dog image can create this effect. It can even resurrect the dead. The way to escape this curse is also real. Send the file to someone else via email. Breads and the Man. A man sitting inside a sink and hundreds of loaves of bread. An interesting and inexplicable photograph. He watches the bread with a judgmental look on his face. The original is supposedly taken from a scene in the movie Adventures of Food Boy. The man with peas on his face. A photo of a man with peas in his mouth, nose, and eyes, walking like a dead person. A photo that is more strange than frightening. The original comes from a post shared on the Instagram page of this man named Jeff Mermelstein. Jeff, who shares dozens of strange photos like this, is a photographer. This is one of his most popular photos. The woman who married a rag doll. The photos you see here are different from the other photos in the video. Photos have been taken as if this person is marrying a ragdoll. It's not a photo made with Photoshop or for entertainment purposes as you might think. It really is a woman. She married this ragdoll made by her mother. These photos are from their wedding. The woman fell in love with the ragdoll, Marcelo, at first sight. After a few months of their relationship, they had a child. Since they didn't want to have a child out of wedlock, they got married with a wedding attended by 250 people. A strange silhouette. Again, a strange silhouette. From the outside, you'll never understand what it is. In fact, I'm giving you 5 guesses. Can you guess what the original of this picture belongs to? You can go down right now and write your guess in the comments. This scary silhouette actually belongs to a dog. This photo we see from the car's rearview mirror is terrifying even without any effects. Russian sleep experiment. Most of the videos shared on the internet under the name of the Russian sleep experiment include this image. What is this frightening creature? With its creepy face, sitting on a strange chair and the surrounding parts being nonsensical. You might really think it's a photo from the Russian sleep experiments. However, the reality is quite different. This entity is actually a toy, probably made by craftsmen. It might even be a decoration made for a festival. But when I saw it on the ground with its tag, it didn't seem that scary. Strange picture. In this photo that looks like it's from a ritual, we see a goat-headed entity posing like a cult leader. I searched the entire internet for the photo and came across dozens of different places, but none were the original. With a site I found, it first appeared on the internet. I found the site where it first appeared. It was posted in August 2003. The caption underneath described it as a demonic entity in a goat disguise. A cult member. It was written as an imitation of the devil. After continuing my research, I found the original photo. Actually, more than the photo, I found its location. I discovered a site in the depths I delved into. They were selling pictures of this statue on the site. Upon further inspection, I saw that the sellers were the Witchcraft and Magic Museum in England. So the image you see is actually a photo of the Baphomet statue that has been slightly edited and posted online. Jeff the Killer. Jeff Allen Woods, more commonly known as Jeff the Killer. He is a young boy who lost his sanity and became a serial killer to satisfy his murderous urges. Jeff has extremely pale skin and burnt eyelids. This gives him a ghostly appearance. The smile on his face represents his sadism and bloodthirstiness. This photo was specially created to appear cursed. The original is actually 2 different photos that I showed on the screen. The iconic image you see was created by combining these photos and applying some more effects. This was created for one of the creepypastas. The story is about him catching his prey at night in their homes with his strange face. In the first written story, I will read the interview given to the newspaper by a child who survived Jeff's attacks. I am leaving the full story in the description. You can read it if you're curious. I had a very bad dream and woke up in the middle of the night, he said. The child. The window was open, even though I was sure I had closed it before going to bed. I got up and closed it once more. After that, I got under the covers and tried to sleep again. I had a strange feeling. It was as if someone was watching me. I opened my eyes and almost fell out of bed. There, in the place illuminated by the light seeping through the curtain, there was a pair of eyes. These eyes were not ordinary eyes. They were dark and sinister. They were surrounded by black, and their ugliness horrified me. Then I saw the mouth. Wide. Its terrifying smile made all the hairs on my body stand on end. It stood there watching me. After what felt like an eternity, it spoke. It was a simple sentence. But it was said in a tone that only a madman could use. It told me it was bedtime. I screamed. This caused it to attack me. It pulled out a knife and pointed it at my heart. It lunged at my bed. I resisted it. I kicked. I punched. I tried to escape. Just then, my father entered the room. The man threw the knife. The knife hit my father's shoulder. If our neighbor hadn't called the police, my father could have been killed. They parked in the parking lot and ran towards the door. Adam turned around and ran towards the corridor. I heard a sound similar to glass breaking. When I left my room, I saw that the window facing the back of the house was broken. I looked around to see him. I can only tell you one thing. I will never forget that face. Those cold demonic eyes and the psychopathic grin. I will never forget these things. Ilse Jack, a creature with a black hood, dark blue mask, and no nose or mouth, staring into the depths of your soul. On June 7, 2010, a photo of ILSS Jack was shared on 4chan by a user named Anon. The post was titled Nightmareful and included images of disturbing creatures from video games. One of the images included Jack's original photo. The story itself was on YouTube on February 25, 2012. The story was written by a wiki user named Azel5000, also known as Papa Pinch. Here is the story. Hello, my name is Mitch. I'm here to tell you about something I experienced. I don't know if it's paranormal or one of those ridiculous things people use to describe extraordinary events. But that thing, since it visited me, I believe in that paranormal nonsense. A week after moving into my brother Edwin's house, I unpacked my things from the boxes because my home had been taken by others. Edwin was happy that I moved into his house since we hadn't seen each other for 10 years. I was excited too. I fell asleep right after moving in. In the past week, I heard rustling sounds coming from outside around 1 a.m. I didn't care because I thought it was just raccoons or something, and I continued to sleep. I mentioned it to Edwin the next morning. He had heard it too. A week later, I felt like I heard the window opening and a thudding sound. It was as if something had entered my room. I suddenly sat up and looked around my room, but I couldn't see anything. The next morning, when Edwin saw me, he dropped his coffee cup. He held a nearby mirror towards me, and I saw myself. There was a large cut on my left cheek. After urgently going to the hospital, the doctor said I might be sleepwalking, but then he showed me something that froze my blood. He lifted my shirt and showed the stitched cuts where my kidneys were. I opened my eyes wide and looked into his eyes. Somehow you lost your left kidney last night. We don't know how it happened. I'm sorry, Mitch. Grandpa. The next night was my breaking point. When I woke up close to midnight, I saw something terrifying. I was face to face with a creature in a black hoodie, wearing a blue mask without mouth and nose holes. What scared me the most was that it had no eyes. Only black empty holes and a black substance flowing from these holes. I grabbed the camera from the shelf next to me and immediately took a picture. After taking the picture, the creature attacked me and started clawing at my chest to reach my lungs. I stopped it by kicking its face. I grabbed my wallet as I left my room. I would need money. I stepped into the night, leaving my brother's house. Eventually, I found myself again in the woods next to Edwin's house and tripped over a stone. When I fell, I lost consciousness and woke up in the hospital. The doctor entered my room. It was the same person who had examined me before. He started by saying he had good and bad news for me. The good news is you only have minor scratches and your family is coming to pick you up. I exhaled with relief. The bad news is your brother was killed by something. I'm sorry. My family took me to collect my belongings. They took me towards Edwin's house. I was scared as I entered my room, but I calmed down. I picked up my camera and suddenly froze. I saw Edwin's body in the corridor leading to my room, and the small thing standing next to it. I took that small thing and got into the car. I didn't mention Edwin's body. I looked at the small thing I took from the ground and almost vomited. I was holding my half-eaten kidney in my hand, and there was a black substance on it. The bearded girl. You've probably seen a photo like this on the internet. A picture of a man with a beard who looks like a little girl. We can't find the original of this, because it's a very old photo. Let me explain how it was made. To you. It was made with an application called Cayuspergo, similar to Photoshop, released in 1998. Especially with the feature I'm showing on the screen right now. You could mix the faces of two people. Thanks to this feature, this absurd image emerged. Yes, we've reached the end of the video. I also saw it on the internet from time to time and was curious. We learned where the photos came from. Which image surprised you the most or seemed like it was from the past? For me it was that weird silhouette dog. If you liked the video, you can like and subscribe. Until the next video, goodbye.